Hello everyone, and welcome to the Week 3 lecture of EDU593, Knowledge of Instruction, Students, and Resources. This is your instructor, Diana Tucker. The topic this week is Component 1B, and the ability of a teacher to acquire knowledge of the students that enter the classroom. The objective for Week 3 is to demonstrate knowledge of individual students in the planning of classroom activities and interactions. Please be sure to download and carefully read through pages 11 to 13 of the Danielson Framework. The elements of Component 1B are knowledge of child and adolescent development, knowledge of the learning process, knowledge of student skills, knowledge of learning proficiency, and knowledge of student interests and cultural heritage, and knowledge of student special needs. It sounds like a lot, and actually it really is. In my opinion, 1B is one of the more challenging of the components in Domain 1. Again, be sure to read through each of the levels of teaching carefully. The goal is to develop practices and strategies to employ in the classroom that evidence distinguished teaching. How is that different from proficient teaching? What can you do to be sure that you really know all of your students and not just some of them on a developmental, academic, and personal level? It can seem impossible, especially if you have dozens, or some of you in high school, even 100 or more students in a school day. What tools can you use to make sure this is possible? Again, please consider where you feel that you currently fall in each of the elements. This will help you to hone in on activities and procedures that push you to excel in the most productive areas. Please also read the article, Teaching Strategies That Utilize Student Interests. This may give you ideas for the artifact that you will upload this week and may help you to justify it. Again, you can pull from any source you have for your justification, but please be sure to cite it. Once you have done the above and viewed this entire lecture, please post your artifact, your brief description and justification to the discussion forum. The differences between proficient and distinguished teaching in Component 1B center around individual students. Both proficient and distinguished teaching demand that the teacher understand the active nature of student learning as children progress and develop through their school years. Distinguished teaching places emphasis on individual students, not just groups of students, and the teacher's ability to acquire information about them. If you keep records on individual students, the tool that you use to do so would be an excellent artifact to share this week. If you teach large numbers of students, this can be quite a challenge. Of all the information general education teachers can collect about students, I have found that teachers have the most difficulty gaining a clear picture of individual students' level of development. If the student has an IEP, this information may be included in the document, but it's sometimes difficult for the general education teacher to interpret. And if you have large numbers of students with IEPs in your classroom, it can also be a little bit daunting. Reaching out to learning support teachers is a great way to get genuine and up-to-date data on student development. I will be especially interested to see what information our learning support teachers in this class bring to the table this week in this area. Distinguished teaching in Component 1B also demands that teachers systematically seek diverse information about individual students' approaches to knowledge, learning, skills, special needs, interests, and cultural heritages. Look to the examples folder for a document that I have used to organize this information. I have personally had up to about 120 students that I see per day, per school day, and it can be quite difficult to keep information organized and complete. The chart helps me to be sure that I've connected with each of my students, especially in the beginning of the year. You may also think about quality differentiation this week. There's an example activity that I've used. I'm sure you have several that you've used as well. You can check that out in the example folder as well. There's so many possibilities here. Please choose something that is unique to your own growth as a teacher, something that you feel makes you personally distinguished in this area, and something that you think maybe others might benefit from seeing and learning from. You're only required to respond to 2 posts as usual, but I really highly encourage you this week for sure to look at all of them. This component is a great opportunity for us to get fresh ideas from each other around a rather complex task. This week, you will upload an artifact that shows evidence of differentiation, modification, or connection to student interest and/or skills at the individual level. Please include a description and justification in the body of your post. After your artifact is uploaded, you will give critical feedback to at least 2 of your classmates. Please don't be shy about challenging and stretching each other. We want each other to be revising, refining, or maybe rethinking the way that the artifact is being used, or maybe just tweak it in a small way that makes it a little bit better. Remember, this course is about expanding the scope of our already good practices. Please feel free to contact me with any questions or even to share additional examples that you think others could use to put in the examples folder. I look forward to hearing from you in the discussion forum, and I will see you there.